Yeah, man. I mean,
Here we go. We're
I've
live.
I've been doing the work. I don't want to call it work at home because that has like a different connotation almost. You know what I mean?
Time out for a second because we are live now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go on the Totally Driven page.
Yeah.
Out on the personal page, the group.
And I am looking in the chats in case anybody wants to talk. But yeah, man. You'll see me just swipe my phone every once in a while. That's me just collecting a little bit of money.
That cash. Get that money. Collect that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Here we go. Happening now. Look, people are watching. Don't mind us. We're just getting our situation set up. We're going to share the links out on our personal pages so everybody can watch and view in. But I'm Bay Ragney. That's Nick Wilkinson, a.k.a. Sick Nick. And for people that don't know, Nick is like the ultimate hustler. He works from home using all types of online on especially something called Fiverr, if you don't know that site. So he's going to talk to us, especially me, about learning how to use sites and online sites and apps and stuff like that to make money and work from home, especially, during this time of the pandemic. Nick is going to be our Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's going to be our teacher, and he's going to help us all make money and hustle and do the things we need to do to put more cash in our wallet and survive and beat the pandemic.
So, all right, well, let me start out by saying that I don't consider myself an expert. I consider myself a rookie in this still. Like, I've been doing it. I haven't had a job, like, on the books since 2009. That's when I decided enough was enough, and I wasn't going to work for anybody else anymore. And I don't consider myself a work at home guy either, because work at home means something specific. You know what I mean? Like, people think about like envelope stuffers or like people that build little things and mail them out. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm not saying that there isn't legitimate ones out there, but there's a lot of scams out there when it comes to that kind of stuff too. Also, I don't do anything that requires a down payment or like you to buy anything or to pay a upfront fee or anything like that. I'm not interested in losing money. I'm interested in making money. You know what I mean?
You know what, dude? Like what you said right there is huge because there's been so many of those things over the years, especially before the whole internet.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it. Stuffing envelopes and crazy schemes like that to make money working from home. That none of them were just truly legit. It was just
right.
Yes. Etc.
Now, there are some legitimate ones out there. I've run across more than a few. You just kind of have to know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? I started out, I followed this YouTube page. It was called Workers on Board. And it's this lady, Felicia, and she tries everything for you first. And then she'll post like videos of how she did it. She'll post proof of payment. It'll like little things that says, they deposited $100 into your Fiverr account or whatever, or your PayPal account. So there are legitimate ones out there. The thing is, they usually require some sort of like commitment, like 9 to 5, working on the phone, virtual assistant, something like that. I'm not interested in having a schedule either. You know what I mean? Like if my hustle was a little bit stronger and I was committed to that, I think I could be making a hell of a lot more. But I'm just not interested in like being tied down to a schedule right now either. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So basically what I did is I started out on Fiverr, you remember, way back when, and I initially Fiverr is awesome because it's exactly what it sounds like. You offer a service for $5, and you can go up. There's levels and tiers and stuff once you get going, but like I offered a real basic service. I started with 3 things. I would come out to anybody that wanted to come out. Like if you were afraid to tell your dad you were gay, I would just call him and be like, "No, Sam's gay," and hang up. And
Come on, wait.
Absolutely,
Did you really do that?
Absolutely. I can. I don't want to show you the specifics, but I can show you the ads. Like, but I did about 15 of them when I first started before I moved on. Then I moved on to a pet psychic, and I said that I will read your pet's future for you, and it was all just in fun. You know what I mean? I was very clear that I wasn't like. I don't want to say legit because I don't believe any of them are legit, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So I did a bunch of them, and then I did ones where I would just give random advice based on like all my years working with teens in crisis and stuff like that. But then things really started taking off when I started writing articles and blogs and stuff for other people, and that's what I do. I would say 60 to 75% of my work right now is writing blogs for any kind of website. Like they just send me, a guy sent me one today. I have to do 75 articles on sex positions, but they have to be written in a way that's friendly to Christian couples. So no cursing, nothing too graphic, and it's for like a Christian marriage website.
Let me ask you,
yeah.
when you say 75 articles, so it's going to be 75 different articles?
75 different positions. He sends me the positions, and then I just write about them. And each one of them is $5.
Okay.
Yeah. So then yesterday I did one that was on Greece. It was on just vacationing in Greece, like 10 things to do while you're on vacation, in Greece. And I just looked it up, read a couple articles, and then, it takes me like 25 minutes to write like a 500 to 1,000 word article on that. Send it back to them real easy. Like that's a huge majority. Now, the thing is, you have to know how to spell. You have to have good grammar. So like Fiverr is all about, as far as I'm concerned, Fiverr is all about what you're good at, man. Like, our buddy Frank, I got him on Fiverr because he does the Santa thing. And I was like, yo, you should sell these things on, 2-minute Santa Claus videos. He's on there hustling Santa videos now all day long. I also do handwritten letters. So if anybody wants to like send me a love letter or send me a correspondence or something, I'll write it out in really nice handwriting. I'll mail it to them, or I'll mail it to the people that they want me to mail to. I charge $5 for a basic letter and then $5 for shipping and handling. You would think it would be 69 positions, but the hardest part is trying to describe them in a Christian friendly way. So you're not like tapping that ass from behind. You know what I mean? You have to say it like elegantly.
You might tap it from behind. You just might not smack it from behind.
Right. And instead of from behind, you'll say like the rear facing position. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So
as you bless yourself.
Right. So I do that, and I do letters from fictional characters. Like, if you want to write a love letter, that's fine. I'll write it, or congratulations. I've done a lot of letters for, what do they call them? Escape rooms, where it's like clues and stuff. And they'll usually have me do like 20 of them at a time and then send them out. And then they use them in their escape rooms and stuff. But I also do them from Doctor Who. I do them from Sherlock Holmes, and pretty much any fictional character that you can think of. If you want a letter written from them for some reason, I'll do it. I have nice paper that I put it on, it's like parchment paper, and I just, it's just, again, I try to keep it as simple as possible and just do $5 and then $5 for shipping, because it gets confusing if it's like $10 for this, $15 for this. I don't need to do all that. My stuff is real simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the crazy thing about Fiverr, like that, as I've been exploring and seeing what's going on there, is it's not like just $5.
No,
like
hundreds.
Yeah, like crazy amounts of money.
When I first started, you had to offer one thing that was $5 originally, but now it's a little. As you get up in the levels, which means like once you get like 30 people review you and you get good reviews, you can add more stuff. And a lot of people that like now it's really blown up. There's people on there that do videos. There's people on there that do product, endorsements. There's people on there that do like audio and video stuff. I've had animation made on there for our websites and stuff. They do logos, they do T-shirts, all kinds of stuff. I've gotten artists for my books that I put out on Amazon off of Fiverr as well.
You've also had the theme song from the TV Nation podcast.
Absolutely, there's musicians on there, all kinds of musicians on there too. Yeah, so it's a big world. Like whatever you're good at, whatever your deal is, whatever you love, you can make money off of it on Fiverr. I guarantee you on that. Like if anybody's having a hard time brainstorming ideas, come get me. Like I'll help you with that. Like I said, I get Frank on there. Frank was hustling videos.
Yeah. See, like now when I looked at it, like I've been looking at it, I was trying to figure out like where can I make some money on there? What can I do? And the way I was looking at it, and I sent you my video this afternoon, and I got to redo it because I made one error in dates. Was I lost a lot of weight recently, so I thought like I can be an online weight coach, motivator, online. Right. You know what I mean? Like just
almost like a life coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I thought I could do that. And I was trying to think of different avenues and stuff like that on Fiverr that I could do and different things. And that's where it's hard to like really find things to do. But then you were like telling me, what about last night, where you were like, you could do like get paid advertisements for podcasts and stuff like that. We could paid advertisements on here.
I used to do that back when we were really running and gunning with Totally Driven. I used to do that. I would do $5. I'll mention your website and your product on the show, and I would just throw a quick spot out there about it, and they would pay me $5. That's an easy way to make money. Another thing is like spokesman stuff. If you can just get like a green wall or a green screen or a green curtain or anything like that, you could stand in front of it and be like, my name's Bay Ragney and I really love this product, and show it to them, and people, I see it on there all the time. Or I'll review your book and put it on Amazon, or I'll review your music and put it on Apple. Like you could do music reviews and stuff like that. Send me your stuff, and for $5 I'll give you an honest review. The key is to stay honest. Don't offer a positive review, offer a review. You know what I mean? Don't lie about it, or else they catch you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had a ton of stuff on there, man. I mean, if I can log into my Fiverr account, I wish I could show you my screen right now. But I'll log into my Fiverr account and it'll tell me what I've made so far this year.
Okay.
Which isn't, granted, it's not going to be like earth shattering, you know what I mean? But I read a book one time that said to be a millionaire, you have to have 7 income streams total. Absolutely. And ever since then, I've tried to get like as many different income streams in there. On top of Fiverr, a TeePublic store where I put up new T-shirts and masks and stuff like that. I will get into apps. Apps is a whole nother game. Like I have maybe 16 apps that I use every day that make money regularly. And it can range from like, $5 to $100. It really just depends.
I want to say real quick, I see people are jumping on and jumping off here and so what we're talking about here is I'm Bay and that's Nick. And we're the host of Totally Driven Radio. And Nick has worked from home for the last 10 years. And, we'll throw it out there. We'll say Nick hasn't worked a real job. He hasn't worked a 9-to-5 job like the common person of the world. But he has worked his ass off doing all these online hustles through sites like Fiverr and all these different apps, like he's saying, and he has been able to support his family and make
2 daughters.
2 daughters, uh, a mother-in-law, and an uncle, all living in his home,
Yeah.
and be able to um, live a very pretty comfortable life, and really not have to struggle, and do probably well, if not better, than the common person going out busting their ass working a 9 to 5 job for somebody else, and then you come into a situation like this pandemic where you're like, "Oh, sorry, there's no more work for you."
Yo,
Meanwhile,
so let me tell you, this pandemic has been great for me. Like, everybody that's working at home right now is paying me to write their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got more work over the last 4 months than I usually get all year long. Going back to the Fiverr thing real quick, I've made $7,592.80 so far this year just on Fiverr. That's not including apps, that's not including my t-shirt sales, that's not including IntelliFluence, which is like a make money on Instagram and stuff like that. There's so many different ways to make money. And look, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, it's a scam or whatever, dude, like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. There's no links up here. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for anything. If you want to do it, you have to get the work and get out there and do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get you to sign up. That's on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already making my money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing.
you know, you people, please feel free to comment in the comment section, because we'll get it and we'll answer you. But Frank, our good friend Frank, is, Nick mentioned quite a few times, he's one of the people who he does Santa Claus each year, Christmas time, and makes great money doing Santa Claus, you know, in the Philadelphia area. And, you know, he was trying to figure ways to expand out of doing live personal appearances. And Nick turned Frank on to Fiverr and doing videos as Santa Claus, which has been very great money-making opportunity for Santa Frank. And
Absolutely.
Dave Westwood, who's commenting, Dave, I know from back in the Philly area, who Dave works a great job for 7-Eleven, major, you know, worldwide company. He has a great job with them, and he has a great home business where him and his wife have a pet sitting business, and they do very well. But he also, too, like, I remember, like he said in the comment section, me and Dave went and had lunch one day, and we were talking about podcasts and other opportunities to make money, and I was telling him about you, Nick, and how you do this stuff with Fiverr and stuff like that. And I remember you had this conversation.
I got something for you, Dave. I'm going to throw a free one out there for you, okay? You need to create an OnlyFans account for your pets and let people sign up and pay a couple dollars a month just to get exclusive, cool pictures of your dogs and your cats doing funny things. I'm telling you, it will blow the fuck up. You won't have to do any work other than taking pictures. It's going to be the next big thing. Forget about Patreon. Forget about Instagram. OnlyFans, instead of titties and ass, it's going to be cats and dogs. I'm telling you, it's going to be big. I promise.
Now,
absolutely.
Let me ask you that. Like, I see some of the, you know, your Instagram models are always saying my OnlyFans. So is OnlyFans like a website that people sign up on or something?
So basically, it's a website where you agree to pay a monthly fee. It's usually not a lot. Some chicks it might be, but usually it ranges from like $5 to $25 a month, something like that. And then for signing up, you get like exclusive pictures, exclusive videos, and like DMs where they'll answer you back and forth. Do you know Valentina?
Oh my God, yeah.
Valentina has an OnlyFans account. It's $15 a month. It's the only place where she shows nudity. So she's got a bunch of those like thirsty ass wrestling fans that are willing to shell out $15 a month, and once a day she'll throw up like a picture of her with, with her titty out or something like that, or like a modeling or a video of her on a stripper pole, and they eat it up, man. Like if I was a hot chick, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that right now.
The internet would be your friend.
Absolutely. And it even is now, like getting back to like the ways that I make money. T Public is another one that I've been really fortunate on. Like I don't have a whole lot of artistic skills, but I'm good with like digital manipulation. You know what I mean? So I have about 50 t-shirts up in my store, and if I put up a new shirt every week, which I've been really slacking on during the pandemic, I'll probably generate anywhere between like $75 to like $175 a month in sales just by doing nothing. Once I upload them, they do all the work. They print it, they ship it, they process the payments. All they do is deposit money into my PayPal account once a month. You know what I mean? It's so simple.
Now, T Public, what's the program you use to make your logos? Which let's promote your logo design. Like Nick has done logo designs for myself for years, for Totally Gym Radio, Totally Gym Entertainment, for all our
Tuesday Night Neckbreaker. I did Frank's Santa Kringle logo with the coat of arms and all that. Yep.
Yeah. He does great work. So people that need logos, I mean, please feel free to hit Nick up.
And I'm not. Like I don't charge artist fees. I charge, $5, $15. You know what I mean? Because I don't consider myself an artist. I'm a manipulator. Now again, I have this philosophy where I don't spend money to make money. Like so I don't have Adobe Professional. I don't have Photoshop, Illustrator. I use a program called Paint.net, which is just like Adobe Illustrator, except it's free. So I use that one to do all my stuff. Mike Ferreira, I did the logo for Pro Wrestling Now as well. I pretty much all the logos
you did.
Yeah. Even all the logo. I mean, just about every one on the old network I did, I think.
Absolutely.
And so it's you can find me on T Public. Everything that I'm under is totally TV Nation. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, T Public, all of that, just totally TV Nation. You can find my stuff on there. You can also go to my Facebook page. I have a whole folder that's dedicated to just the shit I sell. Like me and my wife, we also do inappropriate children's stories on Amazon Kindle for $5. You can download these books. They're funny little rhyming stories with little pictures, and they're just you know why we started them? We started them because children's books are bullshit and they're boring as hell. So we wanted something that would make parents laugh. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what it is. Go ahead.
Let me ask you about the whole children's book thing. So you've put out, it's now between your regular books and children's books, I think we're up to now?
10.
Okay. So you've put 10 books out. They're out on Amazon and other outlets. And you get, believe it or not, you get like and this is blowing you away because you've said this to me quite a few times over the years. You get a lot of sales in other countries.
My one book, the child abuse book, I'm a #1 bestseller in Norway for some reason. I don't know why. It just... one of my buddies that teaches at a college, he said that one of the college professors must have assigned my book because it got like 55 orders in one day. So somebody must have read it and been like, hey, I want the rest of my class to read it or something like that. And again, that's completely passive. Once I wrote the book, uploaded it to Amazon, Amazon does all the work. I just get a direct deposit to my bank account once a month.
So all right. So how often? You just answered the question. So is it like a monthly thing automatically? You get a once a month deposit?
Depending on sales, absolutely. And then there's also this other Kindle program where if you sign up for it, it's based on the number of pages read, because you can offer your books for free for people that have Kindle Unlimited. And then people will be like, well, if you're offering it for free, how do you make money? Well, they have a fund, and it's funded every month, $2-3 million per month. And then it's spread out between all of the authors that put stuff up there. And it's based on the number of pages that are read, not the number of books you sell. So, maybe one month, like I have a Halloween specific book, and in October, I know that I always have a huge number of pages read because it's a Halloween book. I have a Christmas book, so in December I get a huge number of Christmas, pages read, and they split that up, and that's just like free money, for offering it for free.
And that's pretty smart to do, I guess. Different books for the holidays, because
Right.
Time of year you're going to have generated income. Whether it's this much or that much, it's something is better than nothing.
Absolutely, man. And there's so many different ways. And again, if I was a true hustler, I'd invest some money into like advertising on Amazon and stuff like that. But I'm a firm believer of just not putting that money out there yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to make it. I'm not trying to spend it. Like,
Right.
I like spending it on my family and doing stuff like that instead. So I could be doing better, definitely. You know what I mean?
So you're saying there's an option to like, kind of like a Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly like that.
Okay.
So you can pay to have it higher up in the rankings. It naturally will rise and fall in the rankings based on your sales, but you can pay to have it pushed to the front of the page. You can pay to have it, advertised using specific keywords and stuff like that. I don't do any of that just because, like I said, I'm not interested in spending the money right now. I'm more about trying to get people to leave reviews so it rises and falls naturally. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then with that, I write the books, but I'm not an artist. So again, I turn back around and I go to Fiverr and I hire, I work with this guy, Carlos from Venezuela, really good artist. He does all the work for me at like a fraction of the price. And, some people will look at that as like, taking advantage of a situation because American artists will charge an arm and a leg, but he's only going to charge a little bit. But money means different things to different people. You know what I mean?
He'll charge a finger.
Right. Exactly.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw myself out there. And I've done this before, but yesterday it was funny because my new daughter, my new stepdaughter, Darian, she's a big fan of My Hero Academia, and she was showing me how she does like these cool edit videos,
Right.
stuff, which is a big thing on like TikTok and Instagram. And I said to her, I'm going to draw. Like, you inspired me to draw. Like, I want to draw a picture. Her favorite character is Aizawa from My Hero Academia. And she was, no, you can't draw. Don't you draw it? You're going to ruin it. You're going to kill it. She's like, you can draw Deku or whatever his name is.
Okay.
So I did that, and I was really happy with what I did until I started coloring it because I don't like working with markers. But I was really happy with it. So let's work together and let's do a little something.
So what I would do with that, just throwing it out there, just off the top of my head to make money off that. One, I would throw every one of those edited videos up on the Zin app because the more people click on it and watch it, the more you'll make money. I would take screenshots of it, turn it into a t-shirt, and then I would sell prints of it too, right off of your Facebook page. Just because you don't like it that much doesn't mean that somebody else isn't going to love it either.
Oh, sure.
I'm telling you.
What's Zin? I never even heard of that one.
Okay, Zin is the app that I sent you a link for to sign up for. It's basically TikTok, but it allows you to watch videos. Every video that you watch, you'll make a couple of cents. No more than like 3 or 4 cents per video, but it adds up. And you watch 100 videos a day, you make $3. You know what I mean? $3 a day at the end of the month is still, $100 more than you had. You know what I mean? And I have 16 apps that do that, so that's $1,600. You know what I mean? So it sounds simple, but then when you start to do the real math, you know what I mean? The money is there to be made.
Now let me throw this out there because I'm sure a lot of people might think like me because this is where I get I guess discouraged
Sure.
or you know what I mean, like I think bottom line is discouraged, but so I've worked and I haven't worked a typical 9 to 5 job for many years for the last 15 years. I've worked selling cars where you sell a car, you get a few $100s, or
Right.
doing other things in the car business where I'm getting paid per car and I'm getting a nice amount. And it's like, it ends up averaging out to $75 to $100 an hour.
Right.
So when you hear stuff like this, it kind of gets discouraging because your mindset is still in what you could have been making
Right.
doing. So
So think about it like this, though. When you go to sell that car, you have to drive to work. You have to wear whatever shitty outfit your boss makes you work. You have to work with a bunch of douchebags that you're competing for cars with. You have to pay taxes on that money. You're out of your house for 10, 12 hours a day. On the flip side of that, as I'm having this conversation with you, I'm on the Zen app watching videos while we're talking. Since we've been on, I've made my $3 today. You know what I mean? So you can multitask. Last night I was watching Stargirl with my wife and my daughter, and I just let it run in the background. Yes, it's a smaller amount of money, but it adds up quickly. You know what I mean? Like, and the plus side is you don't have to leave your house. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to deal with other people. You don't have the demands of, a boss and bad coworkers or anything like that. So I totally get what you're saying. And that's where a lot of people will sign up and they'll start out and then they'll quit because it's just not enough money each single transaction. But you have to work at it, you know what I mean? And the more you work at it, the more it adds up. When I first started out, I would maybe get 2 or 3 articles a week and I was only making $15 a week, you know what I mean? But as you learn different techniques, as you learn different sales ways, it starts to improve upon itself. And, the key is I'm not spending money on gas. I'm not spending money on lunch other than what I already have at my house. I don't have to leave. I also don't have to listen to anybody. If I need to go to the doctors, I just go to the doctors. I don't have to get permission from my boss. I just walk. If I want to go downstairs and play with the kids for an hour, I just do it. You know what I mean? So there is a certain amount of freedom in that.
And like right there is huge because, again, going back to the work situation I used to have, I would go out in the morning, whatever it was, 9 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, go to work and do my hustle all day long. But again, I had to travel to different locations for what I was doing. So I would spend, gas money, whatever it was at that point. And, gas at that time was a lot more expensive than it is now due to the pandemic. So, I mean, on average, I was doing a lot of driving. So say I was spending 75 to 100 hours a week, 400 hours a month on gas. And then I was spending, on average, you figure 5 days a week, I'm eating out. I was eating breakfast. Every morning I would go to Dunkin' Donuts and get Dunkin' Donuts breakfast or Wawa back in PA. And then lunch, whatever lunch was, I was spending another, on average,
Your video's crapped out.
$20 a day, breakfast, lunch.
Right.
So that's another 8 crap. There we go. Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay, so you figure between gas and food, I was spending between easy $800 a month.
And the thing is too, like you were also putting wear and tear on your car. You were also putting wear and tear on your body. Everything I do is from this desk. You know what I mean? Like there's no walking around. There's no going on test drives. There's no dealing with irate customers. Now, with Fiverr, you will deal with some bullshit customers from now and then, but you start to get in a rhythm and you start to understand who the picky ones are and who are the ones that are going to be problems. And I'm very chill with that. Like, if I think you're going to be a problem, I'll toss you. I won't do the work and I'll refund your money. Like, I have no time for bullshit. Like, I want to make my $5 and move on. But I'm talking a lot about Fiverr and stuff, but there's so much more to it that I do too. Like, today, I signed up for a bunch more, but last week I did a study at home where you do a one-on-one interview, just like we're doing right now, except I used Zoom, and it paid $75 for a 45-minute conversation about wearing masks during the coronavirus. I did another one that was about the kind of food that I shop and that I buy. That one was for $35. It took 20 minutes to do. I made last month I made $250 on a naming contest because I'm a member of this website where companies will come in and they'll tell you all about their business, and then they'll be like, we need to think of a cool name for our company. And then you submit ideas, and whoever the winner is gets the money. And you don't win all the time, you know what I mean? But when you do, it's $250. That's one, that was 5 minutes worth of work, really.
Now, how about how have you come across these sites? Like, do you get like once you sign up on, like, all right, so a big thing for you is Fiverr. Is there other sites out there other than Fiverr that you're on, or?
That's what I was going to say, and I hope Frank is listening to this, because all you have to do is go to Google and type in sites like Fiverr. There's Tenor, there's 20er, there's all these other sites, and all I do is copy and paste my ad from Fiverr into their one too. And then it's just a matter of logging in and making sure that, you see your order, you do your order. That's it. Everything that you do on Fiverr, you can do on 5 other sites too. Absolutely. And okay, so where do I get my information from? Where do I get all my good stuff from? There's a YouTube channel called Workers on Board. Her name is Alicia. She's amazing. She puts up 3 or 4 videos a week, and she does reviews of them. She tells you how much you can make. She tells you what you need to make money on each one of them. She's a really great lady. She also has a workersonboard.com, which is like the website. And if you go there, anytime you click on a link to sign up for an app or something, she gets a little bit of, referral bonus or something like that. That's a big one. There's a website called The Penny Hoarder, which is all about just gig economy, how to make money at home, how to do stuff like that. And then lately, Facebook groups. I invited you to one that was called like How to Make and Save Money. And that one has been a godsend, because I haven't talked about this one yet, but another thing that's been really big for me as far as making money is rebates. Now, what's a rebate, you ask? Okay, so I'm a member of this website. It's a Facebook group. We're all members of different groups on Facebook, geek groups, music groups, whatever. So I log into this group, and the lady Michelle, she posts something that says, I'll give you an example of one that I did this week. It was a wine bottle opener. It was an electric wine bottle opener and aerator. It was $25. She said, we're looking for 200 people to buy this wine bottle opener, let it ship to your house, and then leave a review for it on Amazon. For doing that, they gave me the $25 that the wine aerator cost and an additional $25 for leaving the review. So I got my money back that I made in the purchase, and I doubled my money because she gave me $25. Now, on top of that, I'm going to sell that on eBay for $15. So I've almost tripled my money on basically a free product. And they do about 200 of these products a day. I limit myself to $50 a month. That's all I'll spend. And I don't overspend until I get my money back. On top of that, the website IntelliFluence, which I've hooked you up with before, you're not getting a whole lot of work, but I imagine you're not logging in every day, and I bet you I could tweak your account and make you get a lot more work.
With that website, it's a lot about it's probably a lot about how to apply, because you have to actually apply for the jobs in there.
You
And
do.
actually applied for a handful this past week, and I got denied for all of them.
So what I did was once I was accepted for one, I copied and pasted everything that I said in that application, and now I put it in every application because I know that's what they want to hear.
Okay. Okay.
And you have to read it. If they're looking for somebody, say they're looking for like the one I did today was CBD oil for pain. They wanted a retweet on Twitter. So in my application, I put my standard thing that I copy and paste. I'd really like to work with you. I think your product is tremendous. Just lie your ass off. It doesn't matter. And then at the bottom, I'll put, I think my fans on Twitter will really appreciate this because we talk about pain relief from time to time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I give them a little bit of personalization so that they think that I'm, paying attention. And then the guy sent me the pitch request. He was like, yeah, do it. I'll send you $5 today. All I did was hit retweet for $5. How many times have you retweeted something this month for free?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And again, $5, it's not a whole lot of money. But it adds up. You know what I mean? Like
it's a 20 of those a month, it's $100.
Absolutely. Kathy asks, what is the app to watch videos? It's called Zyn, Zynn. I will, if you give Bay your info, I will send him a referral link for you to sign right up, and you'll get like $1 bonus just for signing up. I'll send that to you. I'm not out there pushing it. If you ask me for it, I'll send it to you, but I'm not just going to randomly post my links because people tend to think that that's a scam. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's my cousin Booby, just so you know.
Oh, that's awesome. I will definitely send you guys the links. So, and you just enter in my code and you'll get $1 and I'll get $1. You know what I mean?
Which, as a matter of fact, I just want to say this real quick off topic. I was emailing back and forth the other day with somebody who is very close to me, you, Nick, and my cousin Booby, was asking for all of you guys. Duff from MTV.
That's awesome. How's she doing?
Excellent.
That's awesome.
She's got a book she's just submitted to publisher, getting ready to come out. So stay tuned.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So and we've talked about this before, like, and I'll say it on the air, Bay's slacking a little bit because what I do with the books on Amazon, they could totally do with the books on Amazon. He's got so many stories, so many little things. Like, we could definitely work together and put some books out. You got the stories and I can write, and we can. I actually have a fiction book coming out at the end of the year. It's a horror story. Wait till you see that one.
Nice.
But yeah, man, like there's so many different so I talked a little bit about that. Naming Force is the name of the website if anybody's interested, and you go there and you sign up for your account. It's free, and there'll be people on there. If you can draw, there's people on there that'll be like, hey, I have a snow cone company, but we need a logo. And people will submit logos for, $150. Whoever wins gets the money. You know what I mean? Like I'm different websites like that. Fixia does one where people just ask questions like, what's the best way to fix my lawnmower? This is happening. I'll just Google that shit and then answer them. They'll pay me $2. You know what I mean? Like there's so many websites out there.
Hey, I want to add somebody to our little party going on right here. Somebody who can testify to what Nick is saying and who's been in our little comment section, and somebody who, with myself and Nick have said, has listened to what Nick has told us, and it's the one and only Santa Frank. So let's welcome him to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Buddy?
How you guys doing?
You don't look like Santa.
I'm getting there. You gotta let it grow back in,
Absolutely. So Frank, man, I mean, tell him.
Well, I'll be honest. Nick turned me on to Fiverr, and he just gave me an idea. He's like, "Why don't you do videos on Fiverr and do Santa Claus videos, personalized videos?" I went on there. I seen that they had some guys, and the videos really weren't that great. So I was like, okay, he's on to something here. It was really slow, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, but it picked up in, like, I'm very big in Europe for some reason. So Nick, we got a European fan base,
Yeah.
and the next thing I know is I'm just watching the money roll into the account, and my busiest months are November and December. Well, I don't look at the accounts until after the Christmas season.
Right.
And the first year I did it, I looked, I was like, oh wow, I got like $3,000 in the account. Well, last year I looked and I was like, oh wow, $6,500. So
Right.
so literally I made more, and the videos, I got it down to a science. I built a little studio in the house, so they look good. And literally the videos take me about 5 minutes to do and another 5 minutes to edit. And I'm getting anywhere from 20 to sometimes 300 hours for 20 to 30 minutes work.
Yeah.
And it like I said, it adds up. It adds up. I mean, I got companies that were calling me that wanted me to do their commercials for like Amazon for next year. And another perk I started getting free products from people.
Absolutely.
So that they wanted me to do, okay, can you film a Santa video, doing that. And there was another site, and for some reason I'm having a brain freeze because I didn't expect to be on, that Nick turned me on to, where you just answer questionnaires and they send you product.
Yeah.
What was that one, Nick?
Dude, I'm a member of like 700 of them, so that.
But like, I do them a couple times a month, and I'm always getting free stuff. As a matter of fact, I got a package sitting over there now. I don't even know what the hell it is. They just come in from these companies, like, okay, I must have did a survey or something. But
I throw all that stuff in a box, and like once a month I go through it, throw it all up on eBay for whatever it'll sell for. I don't care what the retail value of it is because I didn't pay anything for it. So I'll sell it for $10. I don't care. Or I'll go through and I'll look at my calendar and see if somebody's got a birthday coming up, and if there's something in there that I can recycle instead of buying a present. That's maybe not making money, but it's definitely saving money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's amazing on how much people just want to give you stuff just to be, and it's really hard to, like Nick said, man, there's so many ways out there to make money, and everybody's looking like, oh, well, I want to do like YouTube and get like a million following. You know what? You could sit there and do that for years and not make a dime. I make, more just doing the videos than I do at my regular job.
Yeah. Frank said, like, there's 1,000,001 fucking people out there trying to do the whole YouTube thing or whatever.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Or
whatever. There's 1,000,001 people out there trying to do it. Just like back in the 80s, it was like everybody was trying to be like, a musician and a rock star, et cetera, et cetera. There's 1,000,001 people out there trying to do the same thing. But, you can do all these little hustles, like,
exactly,
to make an income and support a family. And I am the number one supporter of damn the man, save the empire. You know what I mean? Like,
and I can't stress enough, like, I don't leave my house. Like, I don't go to work. I don't have an office that I have to worry about. I don't have coworker bullshit to deal with. You know what I mean? If I want to go out to lunch with my daughter, I just leave the house and go out to lunch and come home. And that's a huge, like, I have lupus. You have sarcoidosis. Frank, I know you had some medical stuff, but you're a lot healthier these days than you've been. And stress is a fucking killer, man. And like, this is so low stress. Like, I know it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Like, think about how many apps or how many times you log into Facebook every day as it is. All you're doing is the same thing with a different app. It's exactly the same thing. It's clicking on a picture. I have one where all I make is $25 a month off of it, but I make $25 every month off of it. And all I do is record like a 2-minute review. They'll send me like today it was an ice cream flavor of Ben and Jerry's, and it was, what do you think of the packaging? What do you think of the price? And I just give a quick 2-minute thing on it, and they just send me the money. It's so simple. You can do that while you're cooking dinner. You can do that while you're taking a shit. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely a major benefit to that, to not having to leave the house.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Let me just quick, Frank. Like, Nick said a huge thing, and and I know this. Talking to Frank a lot with his job, and he works in an office situation, and he deals with a lot of fucking stress. And I felt like, prime example was a year ago. I had this opportunity put on me where I got to throw the first pitch out of the Reading Phillies game, and Frank came with me. Frank's fucking boss was calling him the whole fucking time, and the poor guy had to deal with all this stress after hours of work. No, you shouldn't have to deal with that shit. And you know what I mean? Like, here's Nick. Nick's laughing at all of our asses because Nick gets to do this stuff, no stress. He just rolls to the beat of his own drum. He does this, and boom, boom, boom. And every month, he's got 16 apps and whatever other streams of income. So just say, we'll round it off. 15 streams of income coming into Nick's account each month, supporting his family, and you see the smile on his face.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, I'm not rich. I'm not saying that you can get rich if you have a die-hard hustle, which I do not have. You know what I mean? But if you have a die-hard hustle, you can get rich off of it. But I'm not. I'm doing okay. If the washer breaks down, I'm still going to struggle to pay that bill. You know what I mean? But at the same time, so is everybody else out there that's working 9 to 5. So why not do it and at least not have to deal with that bullshit? You know what I mean? We're all still struggling. It's just that I'm struggling a little bit less. You know what I mean? In different areas.
Exactly. One thing with this virus, I've been working from home anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week. And it literally has soured me to going to work.
Absolutely.
To the point where today was the first day I was back in work in 4 days. And literally from the drive-in to the time I came home, I was miserable. And it's not that I don't want to work, because as you guys know, they'll tell you I've been a hustler. I've worked 100, sometimes 120 hours a week. I don't think I've worked less than 60 hours a week since the 90s. So that's. But I'm 50 years old. I can't. Right. I don't want to do this all the time. And I'm looking into more of the side hustles, I just started launching the virtual Santa visits.
Yeah.
And
nice.
I've already gotten orders. So I got the Fiverr. I also got my own Facebook where I do the videos. I just don't have to pay anybody a fee. And now I'm doing the virtual visits, and I'm actually going to start be doing a weekly stream where Santa's going to read stories to children.
Love it.
And
let me say this, Frank. Please hold your thought. Please. I just want to say this real quick. I want you to tell people where to go to actually see you as Santa, because this fucking guy, and I should say but this guy is the best Santa Claus ever.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Frank, plug your. He doesn't look like Santa now, but Christmas time, he is Santa Claus, and you can't tell me no different.
Well, I always try to explain to people the reason the beard is gone is because, as you can see, this is my natural color, right. And this is from working the gray. But I dye my beard white, And anyone who's dyed their hair will tell you it's a very strenuous and harsh process. And after Christmas, my beard is basically mush. So I shave it off, let it regenerate so it comes in thicker. But on the web, I have a good old-fashioned.com still, santakringle.com. That's Kringle. And then on Facebook, Santa Kringle Visits LLC. And my video is Messages from the North Pole.
Now, I will say this. If I were you, I would set that Santa Kringle website up with an Amazon affiliate page and start selling Christmas-related products on there that you get a kickback off of each product, because it'll still add up, and it's free to sign up on Amazon. I'll talk you through it if you want to do that. You know that I've talked to you before about going to, it's called Udemy, and it's a online university, because I think Frank should start a class on how to be a Santa Claus, because Frank is a prime example of how to make money online, because he offers a superior product for a reasonable price. And it's the same thing with my article. There's a lot of people that charge less than I do per article, but I provide a good quality, everything spelled right, everything's edited, and it's the same with Frank. He's a high quality video. He gives them exactly what he wants, and there's money to be made in the fact that he's providing a superior product.
Agreed.
Well, you know, that's the thing. You not only do you got to supply a superior product, but you know, you got to be customer service friendly, which is something that I didn't see a lot of. And it's funny you mentioned the class, because I actually did a class last year just to test the waters. I had a free Santa seminar, and
really,
we did well, and we were actually supposed to have the second one in April, but thank you, Corona, you killed that. But we had Santas from all over, because basically it was a 3-hour seminar. And I went through the whole thing, and I had people wanting me to video it and all. And again, I did it for free the first 2 times, because I was just trying to get a feel for what I'm doing. And not only that, I always believe that if I'm going to make somebody pay for a product, that I want it to be the best it can be. So I wasn't going to, hey, man, I'm just going to throw on a school and you guys can come. I wanted to like tweak it, get feedback. But yeah, I definitely like am looking into more options. You know, unfortunately, I had some big things planned for this year, but everything's kind of on hold now.
Right.
But I am looking at more of the videos and stuff, which is kind of funny because Cameo rejected me, which is funny because I do more videos than the guys on Cameo.
Right.
So the fact that they rejected me because I don't have the social media following,
right,
it just cracks me up because, like I said, one of my good buddies is on there as a Santa. He's phenomenal, and he's brought it up a notch. But I looked at like what the other guy who was on there for years did, and I blow him away with the videos, and I just kind of find that funny because, you know, they're looking at one aspect and they're not getting that, you know, there's more to it. And that's, you know, to make a point is kind of what Nick's saying. You're looking at, oh, this may look like a lot of work, but if you look at the overall picture, you can literally, even if you don't want to live off it, you can supplement your income. And again, if you don't need the money and you're saving it, it comes in handy when the refrigerator goes, the washing machine goes.
And the last thing that I'll talk about real quick is your network. Like, you got to look at, everybody out there is trying to be rich, but the thing that drives me crazy is like, you got 3 people. There's 3 of us right here. So Bay wants to have $1 million. I want to have $1 million. Frank wants to have $1 million. But nobody's thinking like, hey, why don't we all work together and we'll all make $250,000? Me and Frank, we teamed up together on a book. I wrote the book and got the artwork. Frank gave me the stories. Frank gets the books wholesale from me. Then he can sell them for whatever he wants. Later on this year, hopefully, when things pick up, I do handwritten letters. Frank does Santa Claus visits. It's a win-win for all of us. And you have to be willing to work with the people in your network. Exactly. Instead of trying to be rich on your own and trying to get the most money, just try to get it, some of it, all together. You know what I mean? We can all get rich together. It doesn't have to be me versus you. It can be us.
And like you're saying with the networking, you can use stuff to enhance your product. Like you sent me a sample letter last year.
Yeah.
And I came up with an idea, whereas again, we're going to do the letters this year, but also for my bigger clients, I'm going to have Nick do these letters. And I always have like, I get bottles from Coca-Cola and stuff like that. And you know, by us working together, it's actually upping my product to now where people are like, oh wow, look at the extra stuff you're getting, and It's costing me nothing. You know,
absolutely.
Same thing with Bay when I ran the wrestling. You know, Bay helped me co-promote, and I threw his name on the posters. Again, you got to work with people because there's money to be made out there, but if you do it on your own, that's kind of, that's what you're going to do, is you're going to do what one person could do. But if three of us get together, hey man, if it ups 100 hours a month, that's still 100 hours you didn't have.
Absolutely.
That's one little thing people got to realize too. Like, people say, oh, 100 hours. And people might think instantly, it's a freaking 100 hours. It's not a lot of money. But you got to understand, like, it's 100 hours more than you would have in your pocket. And it's also hours more, 100 hours, 100 hours, 100 hours. Those 100 hours keep freaking adding up to thousands and thousands.
Exactly. Well, you know what the problem is, too? People don't look at the end game. Like, you say 100 hours. Oh, it isn't much. 100 hours is, for me, that's a month's worth of gas.
Absolutely.
Because I'm in a Prius. So right there.
That's now, 2 months worth of diapers.
And guess what? That 100 hours now that I'm not putting in the gas tank, I don't use it. Now at the end of the year, I got $1,200. $1,200 is a lot of money.
Absolutely.
25 here, a little there. Like I said, those videos, I make sometimes $20 a video, but when I'm banging out 30 a day, that $20 adds up real quick.
But even if you do the math there, $20 for 5 minutes worth of work is a pretty decent amount of money per hour if you average that out.
I did one.
I suck at math, so I'm not going to do that. But
well, just to give you guys an example, and this is what blew me away. Last year, when at my peak, I sat down for 1 hour and did videos. By the time I was done, I was at $750 for 1 hour.
Absolutely.
And that included
at the $20 a pop or $45 a pop, or
because like I add extra stuff. Like if you want, I have a licensing fee. If you want to use it on your website, you got to pay the internet licensing fee.
Absolutely.
It's only $15. I don't think that's too much.
I think it's totally reasonable.
Exactly. But again, like I said, when I sat there and I was like, oh wow, I just made $750 for 1 hour. Where are you going to do that?
Right.
And
okay, so you might not do 40 hours a week at $750, but think about how many times we've wasted an hour. We've been on this show right now 1 hour and 3 minutes. Imagine that somebody just hands us $750 right now for what we did. It's exactly the same thing.
Exactly. And like Nick said, Nick's always telling me about these hustles. And I don't even call them hustles.
You use some of them, and some of them aren't for you, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like,
unfortunately, I can, like Nick, I can write in cursive still, but my handwriting is atrocious. but I look at that and I was like, man, I wish I could write neater, because there's money to be made just for knowing how to write. You know, just like you don't have to have artistic talent, because I have none.
Right.
You know, my artistic talent is I can gab and I look like a fat guy in a beard. I'm sorry.
Right? Frank, show off your Santa Claus talent, minus the beard.
Well, if I'll tell you what. Well, hello there. How are you, Nick and Bay? It is so good to see you. I'm down here at the North Pole, and I'm just relaxing, corona-free. We have none of it at the North Pole. And I did see a couple penguins running around. I don't know what they were doing. I think they got into a snowball fight. But, if the people or the children want to come talk to me or have a video call, they can call me down at the North Pole. I'd be happy to hear from them and tell them stories, and we could go on for hours, and then we could talk about all the toys and all the wonderful things coming out at Christmas.
That's another one for you for Fiverr. Phone calls from Santa.
That is actually in the works. Last year it was a little difficult because I tried a couple overseas.
Okay.
And it because again, I don't know why, but
Right.
I am my biggest clients right now is Ireland, UK, and Cambodia. I do not get that one. But literally one day I had nothing but videos from the UK, and I was like, I'm very big in England. And then Nick tells me like the book we collaborated on is very big overseas, and I'm like, and that's another thing. I tell people, if they want to get the book from Nick, if they want to send it to me, I'll give them a signature and a picture to go with it. I even got a little wax Santa Claus stamp that I've been adding to all my stuff. And again, it's a collaboration, man. We're working together. It gives people. One of my clients actually bought the book to give out to her clients. My photographer bought a bunch of them.
And it's those little touches that make it,
Exactly.
extra special. When I send out letters from Doctor Who, I have confetti that's shaped like stars and moons, and I just put a little sprinkle of it inside the letter,
that's cool.
stuff it in the envelope, and throw it out there. Sometimes I'll draw a little picture next to the signature. I'm not very good at it, but they don't care about that. You know what I mean? Or I'll personalize it. Frank, I don't want to get you all emotional, but I personalized Frank's letter, and we did a message from his dog, and I didn't tell him that it was from the dog, right? And
my dog had passed away, and I love the little guy, and then Nick did a letter from him, and it literally brought me to tears. But another thing Nick did that was great, and this is again, you got to look for inspiration. He does letters from homes.
Yeah.
And basically it was Sherlock Holmes trying to debunk Santa. And he went through this whole thing. And then at the end he goes, oh, and by the way, could I get a new magnifying glass?
Right.
But again, you would have never thought that was, some people look at it and go, no, man, there's businesses all around you. You just got to open up your eyes and see them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What you just said there is huge, Frank.
It is. It's honestly the more I'm home, the more I'm doing things. Like I walk around stores now, and I'm always just looking for ideas, and stuff will come to you. But immediately, like people go, "Oh, well, you're only making $5 or $10 on Fiverr." Well, yeah, but again, that $5 and $10 is adding up. You can't. Any money is good money.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing people don't get. Bay and I used to hustle delivering pizzas. What would we get? $2-3 a trip?
Right.
But then at the end of the day, me and him be sitting there counting up $150, $200 for the day. Guess what? There are people working good jobs that weren't making that.
Absolutely.
We weren't stressed. We weren't, and we got to eat.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I worked in the pizza business for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, the money's out there to be made. You just have to want it, and you have to have the patience. You're not gonna get there. I'm not selling a get rich quick scheme here. You know what I mean? You have to put in the work. But if you do put in the work, the money is there to be made.
There's hustles all around.
I think that's something huge that Nick said right there is he's not selling a get rich quick scheme, which for 20, 30 years people have heard these get rich quick schemes, et cetera, especially with the explosion of the internet over the years. It's not that. There is honest to God ways to make legitimate honest money on the internet to live, survive, support your family, et cetera. And again, Nick proves his point on a daily basis.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like, I'm gonna send you the link to so you can send Bubby the link to Zin, and she'll hook it up, and if she enters in my code, I'll get $1, and she'll get $1 just for starting it out. I'm totally upfront about that I'm gonna make $1 off of that, and it shouldn't be that big a deal because if you're honest about it, then it doesn't look shady. There's nothing to hide. You know what I mean? And the more I use it, the more the person that referred me will get like an extra penny or two. And the more she uses it, I'll get an extra penny or two. And eventually she's going to tell somebody about it. I'm not trying to multi-level market her. I'm just have $1. And if you want to quit after making $5, go ahead. Because you made $5. There's nothing else in it for me other than, that referral bonus or whatever it is. And like, we should be using each other for referrals. We should be helping each other out. Frank may not be able to give me $1 million. You may not be able to give me $1 million, but 1 million of our friends could probably give us each $1. You know what I mean? And that's still $1 million.
Exactly. And you got to look at the big picture of the hustles too. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. Any money is good money. Something I just started doing was the Instacart.
Yeah.
Now
I'm an Instacarter too.
I signed up for the I took the test for the to pick up pharmaceuticals. Well, no one takes the pharmaceuticals near me because they're small jobs.
Right.
But again, they're looking at, it's only $5, $10. But I'm looking at like how far they are, and I'm like, wow, I can crank out 5, 10 of these in an hour.
Right.
Well, now all of a sudden, I just cranked out 10 of them in an hour at $10 each. That's $100 an hour.
And Bay, all that is he's going to the grocery store, picking up prescriptions for other people, dropping them off at their house.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah, the other day, me and Frank had a big conversation about this. He actually called me the other day as I was picking up some pizza, and discussion about the whole Instacart and the whole pharmacy delivery thing and all. And yeah, absolutely.
But
it's very cool.
And again, like we said, you can't look at, like Fiverr, well, it's only $5, but like you said, Nick, those $5 add up, man. I can't emphasize that enough.
And it's not just that, man. Like anything, like if you're listening to this and you're like a handyman and you're like, damn, I can't get, any handyman business going on. There's an app out there called Tackle. Tackle is a handyman app. You sign up for it. Somebody puts an ad out there. They're like, yo, I need somebody to declog my sink. I'll pay you $45. You can sign up for it, go to their house, do it, and go home. There's any skill that you have. There is an app that you can make money for. Tackle's a great app because I do a lot of installing printers or setting up laptops. I do a lot of stuff like that. People are willing to pay $55 for you to come to their house and hook up their laptop to the internet. If you've done it a bunch of times, you know how easy it is. But if you've never done it, it's a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? But it only takes 25 minutes, you know what I mean? Like there are apps for everything. They an awesome one for you that I'm a part of. It's called We Go Look, and it's people that are selling cars either individually or on the internet. Sometimes they'll ask you to just go to wherever the car is, take a bunch of pictures of it, and send it to them for 25 bucks. You know what I mean? And you're basically just telling them if the car looks like shit or not.
Oh, that's all me.
Yeah, man. Like anything that you have a passion for or that you're good at, there's an app or something out there that you can make money with.
Well, guess what, Nick? You just made me more money because I don't know if you know this, but I used to be a locksmith.
Yeah,
I never got any certifications, but I've done my friends' houses, I've done my own houses, so I'm going to sign up for this. And guess what? Yeah, man, somebody wants me to come over, change their locks, fix their locks, make
Tackle,
keys,
man.
whatever.
TAKL.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have a key cutting machine in my garage.
That's awesome.
So, I get some blank keys. I can make keys for people's houses and all that. And again, I just couldn't get it. I just didn't have time to get the certifications, but I did it for 5 years for a professional company. So now there's another hustle for me.
Absolutely. And it's not just it's busy working people. Sometimes sometimes it's old people that don't have anybody that can help them do stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's a wide range of people like that you're actually helping out too. Like you could feel good about it as well.
And I always look at something like that, whereas a locksmith gets sometimes 50, 65, even 100 hours an hour. Look, man, if I get 25, I'm happy because where else am I making that?
right.
I always look at it like, I don't look at it, well, you should be getting that. Because that was one thing about the Santa.
Right.
Businesses were always like, oh, yeah, well, this. And then other Santas would even say, oh, you're killing us. And I was like, not really, because I'm happy with that.
Right.
Instead of looking at, well, you got to make this, you got to make this. Look at more what you're happy with. If you can support your family or you can make a little more, who cares if you're 25 hours cheaper than the next guy?
100%, man. The money's out there. You just it's all about the hustle.
Yep.
Absolutely. So at this point, to this whole thing, what do you want to wrap up on?
Well, man, let me just tell you, I'll throw out a couple of the names out there that I've put out there already. You can name businesses and catchphrases and stuff on Naming Force. You can use Tackle, TAKL, to do any kind of task. We Go Look has you looking at cars and businesses. Instacart has you picking up liquor, groceries, prescriptions, all kinds of stuff out there. You can use Fiverr. You can use Tenor. If you're interested in these things, go to a website. There's a website called The Penny Hoarder, which has lots of different ideas, lots of different apps, surveys, anything that you're interested in. You can go to Workers on Board on YouTube or workersonboard.com and talk to Alicia. She gives you lots of different ideas, and she puts up proof of payment, everything like that. Set yourself up a PayPal account. It would be the smartest thing you ever did. You can link it right to your bank account, and transfers now on PayPal are instantaneous. So if it's in your PayPal account, you can have it in your bank account within 5 minutes. And just get out there and hustle. If you want to talk, if you're a friend of Clay, if you're a friend of mine, you're a friend of Frank, get in there and send us a message. And Totally TV, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It doesn't matter, man. I'm more than willing to talk to anybody that needs a little bit of help, and you guys are too. Get your hustle on. Make shit happen.
I love it. Frank?
Like I said, man, listen to the man. He's helped me out. I may be in a position where I need a job in a month, and I've already started lining up these side hustles to get me through some hard times. So the money's out there, man. You just got to have a little motivation, You know, you don't have to be the most talented. I'm proof of that. You just it's motivation, man. It's the will to want to make money, and Nick is the man. He'll give you 20 of them. Hey, if only 5 of them may work for you, but guess what? That's money you didn't have. You always got to look at that. If you didn't have it, you know, it's a gain. You know, don't look at, oh, well, it's only this much. No, it's you didn't have it, so you're gaining something.
Right.
And in the end, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And man, don't be afraid of the smaller things. Like I won't get into anymore, but there's tons of stuff out there, man. There's apps where you can scan your coupons and get cash back on your purchases. There's apps where you can get free stuff from Amazon. There's apps where you can do market research studies and they pay you with Amazon gift cards. Anything that you want to do. If you just like to talk, contact me, man. I will find a way for you to make some money.
Yep.
Make shit happen. 2020.
Hit up Nick Wilkinson. Check him out. He will help guide you. He's going to help do it for me. He's helped already do it for Frank. This has been a lot of fun. We're going to do this again.
Yes.
I think a lot of people enjoyed this conversation. I think we should come back and visit this in a week or two after, I start working with this and seeing where I can hustle and make happen. Frank, come back.
Thank you.
Tell us more of what you're hustling and making happen. And I hope everybody's staying safe during this whole pandemic. You know, it's starting to ease up a little bit. Things are starting to go back to normal slowly, depending on where the country you're on or in. Don't mind me. I've had a couple cocktails. I'm enjoying the pandemic. I was 2 fists in it. I had wine. I had Pabst Blue Ribbon. But, you know, sitting out in the backyard, enjoying life, enjoying my friends, enjoying my family, chiming in, and enjoying the knowledge to make money. And that's the most important thing here, where we can turn around and make money and not be a slave to the grind. Because
Absolutely.
you can't be a king of the world if you're a slave to the grind. Remember those important words.
Yep.
I'm going to leave you on that. Hey, Nick, I love you. Frank, I love you. Everybody chiming in, tuning in. I love you all. And let's hey, Chris Kelly, yo brothers. Chris Kelly, I love you. Let's go make shit happen, like Nick said, and let's make some fucking money, and let's damn the man, save the empire, and do this for ourselves, our families, and let's not let the pandemic rule us. Let's rule the pandemic.
All right, man. I'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.